Today we're going to be looking at how we can use pointers to access the content inside of our classes. So you see I already created a new class over here. I have lemming.cpp and lemming.h. So I can go ahead and include the header file of that class inside of the main here in the preprocessor commands. So I'm going to put lemming.h in quotation marks. And you can go ahead and copy all of these preprocessor commands and the namespace definition, and you can put that inside of the lemming.cpp or any CPP file you have, just to make everything nice and consistent, because they're going to use the exact same things anyway. Now inside of our header file, we can go ahead and create our class. So we write class and then the name of our class, which you already said would be lemming, and you'll put your curly braces and you'll end that off with a semicolon. Inside here, you'll list your restrictions. So I'm just going to write public because we're only going to be working with public. You can write protected and private as well and leave them blank. That's just fine, but we're only going to be working with public today. So inside of our lemming.cpp, we can go ahead and create our functions. So the first one we're going to create, as usual, is going to be our constructor. The constructor will not have a defined data type, and it will be named after the class itself. So you see here, I have the lemming function inside of the lemming class, and I'll go ahead and put a message inside of here just so we can see what the constructor is doing, because a lot of people have trouble understanding what the constructor does and when it appears. So I'll put this message here just so you guys can have that to look out for. So this is from the constructor. End line, right there. All right, now we have an error here because we haven't prototyped this inside of our header. So we have to go inside of our header here, and we just simply need to write lemming function, right? Everything that comes before the body, if you have a data type, you include it here, but the constructor does not. Now we're going to go ahead and create the function that we're going to want to access with our pointers. So we're going to create a void function over here inside of the lemming class. You still need to write lemming with the two colons, and then you write the name of your function, and we'll call this the turtle function. And I'll put a message inside of here. The reason we print out so many messages is because it's an easy way to confirm whether or not what we are trying to learn has worked successfully or not. So this message is from the turtle function inside of the lemming class. End line. So if what we do is correct, we'll be seeing this message appear on our screen. We have an error because we have not prototyped it, so we need to write everything that comes before the class body or the function body up here. So we write void turtle, simple like that. So now everything is ready to go. We can head into our main. Now we still need to start off by going and creating an object that will allow us to access our classes and the stuff inside of it. So we write off the name of the class, in this case lemming, and we'll create an object which can be anything we want. I'll keep it simple and call it lemming object. Now we know that if we were to go ahead and just simply write lemming object to access our class, lemming object, and we put a dot separator, and then we include what we want to access, in this case turtle, we'll know that this will allow us to go into our class and access the turtle function. Remember, the turtle function is a void that will be printing something out on the screen, so I don't need to go ahead and print this out on my own. It's going to do it for me. I can go ahead and press build and run here. I'll get build as succeeded, and we'll get the two messages we were expecting. This is from the constructor, which will appear just from the fact that we were creating an object. And then we'll have this message from the turtle function inside of the lemming class. This comes from the fact that I said I'm using the lemming object, a dot separator, and I want to access the turtle function. Now, what would happen if we wanted to go ahead and use a pointer instead of the dot separator and object? So we're going to write the name of the class again, which is lemming, and go ahead and create the pointer, which we know is going to have an asterisk in front of it, and you'll write lemming pointer, whatever you want to call it. Now we know we need to assign this to a memory address. So what memory address do we want to assign this to? We'll assign it to the memory address of the lemming object, or whatever object we created. So right now we have all this here. So would I simply be able to go ahead and write lemming pointer over here and be able to access the information inside of the class, which is the turtle function? Now first off, you might be saying, shouldn't I be putting a asterisk right here in front? That's got to be what the error is for, right? It's because you didn't put the asterisk in front. No. You do not put the asterisk in front again because your program is actually pretty smart. The system knows that if you put the asterisk once, it knows that whenever it sees the words lemming pointer, it's going to be a pointer. You don't need to put the asterisk. So what is this error about? Well, the dot separator is reserved for objects. So if I was using an object like the lemming object I created, I could use the dot separator to access the turtle function inside of the lemming class. You need to use the pointer separator over here if you want to use a pointer to access the content inside of your class. So see, now the error has gone away. If I go ahead and build and run, you'll see that using this error over here, which is a hyphen and a triangle brace, pointing like an arrow. So you can see like a pointer, arrows are pointing, right? So you can kind of see what it is. And we see that we got the exact same result. So I just want to show you guys exactly how to do this. This is how we can use pointers to access the content inside of your classes. Make sure you use the dot separator when you're using an object to access the content, and you use a pointer separator when you want to use a pointer to access the content. If you have any questions regarding this, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I will respond to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the videos in this series.